find out in a second. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh my gracious goodness. And everything in between. If you're a fan of Kings of Leon, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, you're in the wrong place.
The point is, nobody likes counting, okay? This is my point. Unless you're like 4 years old or under, nobody persists in enjoying counting things, okay? Well, look at the universal we can apply correctly. You and I both yawned. Must be
Yeah, we
it must be yawn
did.
o'clock, I guess.
It must be.
Rachel's not a big yawner, but you get enough
No.
drugs in her sometimes.
Hmm. It's like crazy though how much I feel better after puking.
And yawning.
Yeah.
You weren't going to say yawning, but the truth is you do feel better after yawning. You just don't probably
I do
notice
feel
it.
better. Yeah.
Maybe you do notice
Yeah.
it. You probably just don't
You
think
know, you're
about
right.
it.
I don't notice it. I don't notice it. But I do feel better after. It's true.
Isn't that crazy how we need all of these things in the world? Some of them make sense, some of them don't make any sense, some of them generalize, some of them don't generalize. If we didn't have access to all of those parts, everything would fall apart. I'm convinced of this. It's not a satisfying thing for me, because what I realized the race I was driving around was just the NI whole of the thing. And here's what NIFE whole makes you recognize. And this is really like contraindicative of the ENTP way, but it just, when you know it in full, it's like, oh. Which is the complexities of both the varying degrees of ability to understand of various people and the channels by which they want to understand and the ceilings of each of those channels in conjunction with their actual needs, actual utility, and demonstrable purpose. It's such a complex web of things that trying to explain it in a way that people in general are going to understand is utterly pointless. And the only thing you can do is make a catchy song. And this is the truth, the NIFE truth that I realized driving around with Rachel. Rachel and I have had a really good day, don't you think?
Yeah.
We've had some good, like, communion or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
No, you don't. Even you don't like counting, Mr. Contrary Pants. Nobody likes counting. That's why, as proof of the fact that nobody likes counting, I'm pretty sure nobody likes Kings of Leon either. But I won't universally state that as clearly as I will universally
Kimberly
state.
did.
Well, Kimberly did. That's true. So there's at least one person who likes Kings of Leon. I'm assuming she's still alive. Now, if she were dead by now, then we could still claim potentially that nobody living likes them.
Oh my gosh, that is such bipolar.
I'm not wishing that she were dead. I'm just saying logically it would be the case if she were dead that we could still claim that.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
I don't wish any ill on the woman at all. I hope she's doing great. I hope she's fine. I have no.
You took enough of a beating.
Yeah.
from her.
Yeah. Exactly. I have no interest one way or the other. But I'm just saying, if she were dead, then logically I could still make that claim, which is the only thing that matters.
This is logic we're talking about.
Yeah, not people.
I'm wondering if the hockey game is on today, too.
It would be too soon, wouldn't it?
Too soon?
Wasn't it just on yesterday?
Yes.
It has to be at least 2 days between. I think. Well, because they have to go back to the other city now. Because it's like, I think it's 2-2-1-1-1, which means like the Avalanche won the first two. The Lightning split the next two. The Avalanche lost at home last night. Which means nobody likes counting. That's my fucking point. Nobody likes counting. Okay? If anybody likes counting, and that'd be wrong, but nobody likes counting, so fuck off. So we got 2 boxes of whippets, so we don't have to count them. Okay, I got my box whippets, and it's got her box whippets.
Yeah.
No counting involved.
Yeah.
I've done how many, it doesn't matter how many of my whippets I've done. If I've done my box whippets, she does her box whippets. No counting, fucktards. Just keep your counting out of my business. I don't want to count shit. I don't like counting. Nobody likes counting. Counting's stupid. That's my point.
So we're being streamed and whereby right now?
Are we streaming? We are streaming. We're live streaming right now to convey to you people that counting is stupid. If you're counting right now, you better stop it. You better stop your counting. Who's counting? Oliver, you count? You better stop that shit right now, motherfucker. You better knock that shit off. There is no counting allowed in this live stream. I'm going to report you. I'm going to report you for counting abuse.
We're all watching separately.
The problem is, look, I had a mistake earlier that I'm a bit ashamed of. I deposited some money uphill only to drive down the hill and withdraw that same money. With nothing in between. I cannot explain to myself why I did that. Except, when I deposited the money, I didn't know at the time. Well, basically, I did know. The only reason is, normally, when I go buy whippets, I go to the ATM first. Down there, right? Not up there where I deposit money. So even though I was depositing cash, it didn't make any sense to keep some of that cash and avoid the second trip. So I had to have a conversation with that second ATM to make sure that that second ATM kept it between us. Shh! Don't you tell that ATM up there about my dumb ways, okay? You just keep this between you and me, ATM.
And me being like my INFJ self, I'm like reaching to like the door to be like, wait, I want whippets, but I didn't say it loud enough.
Well, I mean, she was watching in the car as I was interacting with the various ATMs. The first I explained the thing is, I did a good job with the first ATM. I explained to it, hey, you know what, ATM? No, you have a good day. You're the one doing all the work. I did count all the money I put into the deposit thing, but I realized before I got to the ATM when I was still in the car with Rachel, I realized I don't need to count the money. That's what the ATM's for. It counts it for you. Why am I counting it? Doy? You know? And so, when it told me to have a great afternoon, I said, no! You're the Mexicans in this equation. You're the one doing all the work. You have a great afternoon. I don't even deserve to have a good afternoon. So, because I was super cool with that first ATM, I'm thinking probably it wasn't too chismosa, as the Mexicans say, about me. Chismosa is gossipy.
Oh.
Yeah. You don't want your ATM machines to be chismosa about you with the other ATM machines. Because otherwise, that second ATM machine, instead of saying, have a great afternoon like it usually does, it would have said, you fucking tard, why did you just not deposit one of those hundreds? You know. But that's just because of my FE with the first machine, I got to avoid that. And that's what you should do too. And the point is, nobody likes counting. That's what machines are for. But it doesn't hurt to pretend that they're people. You never know when one of those machines will actually turn out to be a person.
That's going to be the next Disney movie.
And then you're going to be like, aha! I knew I was right to have this extended crazy conversation with you. I should be on mushrooms every day. You know what counting is? Counting is like trying to know the identity of something by sensing all of its specifics. It's just plain retarded, I say. Just plain retarded. Let me explain it to you like this, friends. It doesn't matter. How many specific ways I might sense this thing, nor how many sensory details in my brain. Those sensory details, no matter how many myriad they may sing, will ever be they ling, tring, or ring a wing to carry me along the winds of a song that sings me to the end, that brings me to a thing, that thing, a thing, that thing, that thing, that then something. Because that requires intuition. Otherwise, it's all just a bunch of bullshit. Even then, you're likely to miss, and someone else got to pick it up for you and throw it in the trash can. Right? If you're lucky. If you're lucky.
That's what happens in basketball, no? You miss a shot, your teammate gets the rebound.
There are no real perfect light drop movements, you know? How did things get like red and purple and red? And how did this happen all of a sudden? It's like, did I do this? I didn't turn this on. When did this happen? When did this become a rave? I had nothing to do with this. Did you have anything to do with this?
No.
And this is not just me tripping. It's like, this is happening in...
Oh,
right?
No, you are tripping.
No, it's red and green and no, it's not.
Square.
I am tripping.
Yeah, you're tripping.
I'm just tripping. Never mind.
Yeah.
Are you sure it's not changing colors and shit?
I'm 100% sure.
Oh, never mind. It seems like it's like. Never mind.
No, you're tripping.
That's why I never pay attention to what shit looks like. What shit looks like is stupid. But I tell you what's not stupid. Doing a shit ton of whippets is fun. I love doing whippets.
Me too.
Sometimes I hate them though. Sometimes I fucking hate
Well,
them.
then you have that metallic taste in your mouth, like.
Yeah, but these blues are good. These blues don't taste dirty. That's the thing. Most whippets, including Whippet brand whippets, taste dirty. These don't taste dirty. These are the only whippets that don't taste dirty, these blues. I highly recommend this brand of whippets. The blue with the dragon on it. Let's see where they're from. I can't even see. My eyes aren't good enough to read that part. Who cares?
I could read it.
If you can read it, read it. Yeah, well, I know you can read it, but I don't know if you care.
I do care. That's why I look.
You only
Hungary,
care 'cause I
made
care.
in Hungary.
Hungary. Hungarians, good for you, man. Good job, Hungary. I don't care if you are Islamic. You make some good fucking whippets. I'm all in favor of your... What is it? What's the good one? It's haram and haram and halal. Which one's good and which one's...
I
one
guess
of them's
halal because I know of halal from like Mediterranean food.
So is halal bad or good?
I think it must be good if they use the term so often.
But they use haram just as much, it seems
Do
like.
they?
Haram's the
Oh,
opposite.
see, I
It's
don't
like
know.
kosher and non-kosher, right? But at least with kosher and non-kosher,
Oh, then it's
you get a
kosher
non
is
in front of it.
halal.
Non makes it really, really clear which one's kosher and which one's not. The
If
one
it's
that's not
good,
has a non in front of it, like any sensible thing. I can't remember the Islamic one because they sound the same too. Halal, haram. I mean, come on. Make one of them halal and not halal. Okay?
Oliver,
Haram is bad and halal is good. Okay. So, Hungary, thank you for your fucking halal nitrous. You are the only people who do it right. Good job, Islam. You win on the nitrous production. And you know what? Islamics are all down for every drug except alcohol, too. And props to them for that. Props to them for that.
They're
Yeah.
not down with alcohol?
No, they hate alcohol. And I'm not down with that because even though I can't drink alcohol, there's no reason to be all like druggist like that. Just because you don't like alcohol and you can't handle it doesn't mean it's a shitty drug. It just means you don't like it. Like, I don't like heroin, but it doesn't mean it's a shitty drug. It just means I don't like it. People are always confusing their FI for something else, you know? For some sort of general rule. It's like, I feel guilty because why?
I feel like injectables are it's kind of like, if you can get it in any other form, it's probably better. Like,
Yeah, that's true. But look, I've smoked heroin before. It still makes me puke. Anyway, the point is, I've never shot anything for like on
'cause
purpose.
speed can too be injected.
Oh, you do not want to inject speed. I've never done it, but if you want to see people go from normal to a complete fucking shell of a human being, inject them with speed for a week.
Wow.
And you will just see them, you will see everything about them die. But that's the worst thing you could possibly do is inject speed. That's the worst. Because if you inject speed, that's a dragon you will never find any other way, no matter what. Nothing else comes close. From what I understand, I've never done it. But I get it. It's like the first time I smoked meth. It was like, finally, I understand everything. I'm enlightened. Everything makes sense finally. I'm okay finally. But times a million. And you inject it, you know? You gotta be pretty robust metaphysically to deal with that kind of mainline rush and not be.
Yeah, man.
It's a weird kind of trauma. It's like it's reverse trauma. If you traumatize yourself too badly by having too good of an experience,
yes, I know.
It's trauma too.
It happened to people in my neighborhood in my grade. They overdosed of heroin because they've never had any sort of repercussions from anything else.
Well, that's a much more concrete understanding of what I was saying, but okay.
Oh shit! Sorry.
No, you're not wrong. I'm just it wasn't that's an interesting concrete interpretation of it. What I was saying is like when I was a meth addict for a good 4 years, it took me a good year to find anything pleasurable again.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Right? So there's
heroin's the same.
The thing about if you shoot meth, you'll never find anything that comes close to that again, probably. Except that. And you'll want it. It's like with being a meth addict, eventually the downsides of it outweigh the upsides of it, and you just have had enough. Or this is how it was for me. And I didn't give a fuck about it. Didn't make me happy anymore anyway, right? So I just slept. I slept and just fucking. I had SI on my side, so I didn't really feel bad when I came down off of it, or feel anything. I just felt hungry and tired, and so that's all I did,
Sorry about that.
But the reality is, it's a form of trauma to have pleasure come that easy, and you never quite get over it. Some people, if they're forced to be sober from something that gave them pleasure for too long, they do something crazy like take their own life or whatever. And that's why it's really dangerous to mess with people's temporal bargaining arrangements.
Yeah, it really is.
It's like if you tell people,
how far they'll go.
If you tell people you can't ever blah 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 again,
it makes them want to do it more, honestly.
Well, everybody has steam blow off things. Like a pressure cooker. If it gets too much pressure, it has a release valve that goes. Well, that's what happened with me this morning. After I flipped out at the neighbors, I immediately drove. Where did I drive off to? The Whippet store, because that's my release valve. Now, if some authority figure tells me Whippets are bad and I shouldn't be allowed to do them, then my release valve goes someplace else. If you keep cutting off everybody else's release valves because they're not yours and you don't think they should need them, you're not understanding the way temporal bargaining works. Everybody has the shit that they agree to do so that they don't flip out in unacceptable ways.
Yes.
And if you make perfectly acceptable ways to blow off steam unacceptable for arbitrary legal reasons because it doesn't seem to matter to you, then that's our awful job, as we were discussing in the car. So our awful job is this. There's a couple of very rare people, an actual ENTP and an actual INFJ, among throngs of fakers, right? Our job is the most unbelievably unpleasant job imaginable. We have to explain why it's okay for me to get rewarded with $3,700 for yelling at the neighbors and driving away, but that you can't ever use that justification for anything else. So it's like the same dad who cares about me and saw my outburst as a sign that my water in my tank is too dirty, rather than as a sign that I'm too big for my britches, which is, from our perspective, the only correct conclusion to draw. He's the same guy who says, you know what? We need to nuke an island because we don't have any data about what happens when we nuke an island. The same kind of fucking reasoning. Which is the same, he wants to, he cares about it, and that's all there is to it. It doesn't matter. He's not rewarding me for yelling at the neighbors. He's going, oh shit, I haven't changed their water in a while, so I need to give them a vacation. He's not responsible for us. We don't deserve this. But that's not what FI is, right? The problem is, people like him are the same people. It's great when he gives us money for no reason. It's not so great when he decides it's a good idea to blow up an island with a nuclear bomb. And our incredibly impossible job is to be acutely aware of how we're not positioned to say anything, but we're the only ones who can see clearly what needs to be said. How fucked up is that? How fucked up is that? But you know what? It's not without its perks. One of the biggest problems that Rachel and I are having right now, and this is a serious problem, we only have one of those.
I'm done with this. Is my last.
For the moment.
Yeah, for the moment.
Yeah. In other words, you're gonna give it to me. You're gonna give me my turn in a second.
Yes.
That's what you really mean by that. Mm-hmm. Thank you, darling. And you don't need to rush. You're just as entitled to have your turns in peace as I am in my turns in peace. But getting 2 boxes of whippets somehow really drives home in a way that it shouldn't really. It really shouldn't make any difference, but somehow having 2 boxes of whippets makes me think we should have 2 of these, even though it's the same dynamics, even if we have 1 box of whippets. And you know what I blame for that? Counting. At the end of the day, what does nobody like? COUNTING, counting. Nobody likes counting. Except for there's one person who likes counting. The Count from Sesame Street.
Could we forget the Count from Sesame
But
Street?
he only likes counting if it's peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Even he will only count if he's counting peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. 1 peanut butter and jelly sandwich. 2 peanut butter and jelly sandwich. 3 peanut butter and jelly sandwich. If there is to be a 4th, it had better be not merely peanut butter jelly, but also necessarily, if it were to be included in this list of things to be counted, also a sandwich. Yeah. That's it, so 4 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. 5 has yet to be until sufficient peanut is made into butter, until sufficient fruits are made into jelly. You cannot force a fruit into jelly before it's formed. You cannot force a peanut into butter before it is ready. Stop forcing peanuts into butter. If you do, they'll hate you forever. These are the wisdoms of the Count from Sesame Street. Don't force peanuts into butter before they're ready. Is that clear?
Yeah.
Okay, this is your turn on this now.
Thanks.
This helps us to channel some people we aren't normally, I think, perhaps. I'm not normally that person, but I think that just helped me to feel the underheard voice of the peanut undertrodden. You know, 'cause a lot of people think about the peanut butter. They don't think about the peanut that becomes butter. What happens to it? It gets smashed. Have you ever thought about that? Probably most of us haven't thought about that, you know?
The fruit for the jam does too.
Well, you know what else is of huge importance? Peanuts are living a lie to begin with. They aren't nuts.
Yeah.
They're legumes.
Yeah.
And if you're being forced to live a lie, it's like you're a Korean in Japan or something. You know that Koreans in Japan, you know they've lived there and born their children there for like generations. They're still issued Korean passports and not made Japanese normalized citizens. What the fuck? You can't even tell them apart by looking at them, right? It's like, who can tell a Japanese person apart from a Korean person? Even Asians can't tell them apart. Even Japanese people can't tell them apart.
I bet you that's why they don't like them.
That's why they hate them so much. Because they've designated them as different, but they aren't. How insane is that shit, right? It's like, look, we've designated you as different, but we can't find any ways that actually you're different. So that just makes us hate the fuck out of you. Maybe we're not different. Have you thought about that? Maybe Koreans and Japanese are just stupid words we have to describe different kinds of slanty-eyed people. Thought about that? It's hard. Yeah, I'm sure Koreans and Japanese both are going to say like, oh, we don't look anything like each other. Look, fucktards, Korea and Japan are just stupid words people made up to differentiate between a variety of mixed-looking slanty-eyed people. Just get over it already. I get it, Asia. You hate historical Japan. Fine. I hate historical Japan too.
Apparently I do too.
What with their rape of Nanking, their insistence on longevity of a single line of people for some fucking reason, as though that ever made any sense. Like, when did that become a good idea? Like, hey, that was a good idea. Joe is a good leader. Therefore, Joe's kid is a good leader. Very, very unlikely to happen. The things that make Joe a good leader are going to be completely absent in Joe's kid. After all, Joe's a good leader. Joe's kid's got it easy. You know, I mean, just think about it, fucktards. That's not a good way to pick who leads. Right? Like, my dad's an excellent middle manager. Maybe even top-level manager. that doesn't make me a good middle manager or a top level manager. Yes, I was effective as a director. But you had to add a shitload of alcohol for me to tolerate it, you know? I hated it. Yeah, I could do it, but the thing is, if you concluded that I could do it because my dad could do it, you're the fucking stupidest person in the world. That's not why I could do it. And any justification that says, look, and the whole Japanese culture is based on this fucking stupidity, right? Well, they're from the Mia family. And that family specializes. That's not true at all. That's so contrafactual, right? Your family spews out people of different types who drive you insane constantly. That's how everybody's family is and has always been forever. My dad didn't get an ESTJ like himself. He didn't get an ISTJ like he'd have preferred, like Cameron. He got me. I'm the worst possible thing you possibly could have gotten, right? I will win every argument with him, be completely useless, and just be his burdensome thing that he has to take care of. That's a nightmare. That's not... You can't look at my dad and go, okay, well, he's good at these things, so his son should follow in his footsteps. That's just, like, epically retarded, right? You have to ignore everything that's actual in front of you to adopt this idea and impose it upon a reality that fights it every fucking step of the way. How retarded does he have to be? The answer is you have to be so retarded that you like counting. Only counters are that retarded. People who like counting are that retarded. Which is to say, okay, now you're exempted from this if you're 4 or 5 years old or younger. You are free to like counting and not be retarded, okay? I'm sorry, it doesn't apply to you.
It's a little leaky, this one.
Well, you say that about my cock, but it still works.
Hopefully not in that way.
It's not so much a little leaky as it is. I have to wait a longer time than I want to when I go pee in the middle of the night. If I'm rushing it. Because I want to get back to bed because I'm tired. And I'm done peeing. I get up and I pull up my underpants. If I do it too fast, if I rush the process, then I'm going to have damp underpants. I just got to wait till the final drips come out. Okay, it's got to be patient. That extra 10 seconds at the end of a pee. And then pull up my underpants, or else I'm going to go like on the way back to the bed. Again? I did that thing again. I know it's a pain in the ass. You have to wait a few seconds longer this time. Nowadays, you just gotta wait a few seconds longer. You're not. You think you're done, but there are more drips of pee in there still. You just gotta sit there. I know you're tired. I know you want to go back to bed. You just gotta sit there and make sure all the drips of pee are out. And no, like shaking it more vigorously won't hurry the process. You shake it more vigorously, you just get pee drips all over the fucking bathroom. So just fucking be patient, Eric. Just be patient and let the pee come out at its own pace. Otherwise, you're gonna have pee on your boxers when you get up.
In and out.
Oh, In-N-Out for sure. But if you're talking breakfast, Jack in the Box. I mean, In-N-Out doesn't really do breakfast, so it's kind of a.
But
it's not really a fair question.
Yeah, it's not. But like East Coasters do think it is.
The East Coasters are under the mistaken impression that
Yes.
In-N-Out does breakfast.
No, they might be. They don't know the differences between Jack in the Box and In-N-Out. Like.
Okay, well, here's the question about In-N-Out and Five Guys and those other things. Here's what In-N-Out has going for it that nothing else has. In-N-Out is just In-N-Out. It just does In-N-Out. You get In-N-Out with 2 double doubles, 2 large Cokes, 2 fries, raw onions for about $20. If you want to go large Cokes, it's just over $20. If you want to go just with nothing extra at all, it's just under $20. Regardless, it's the same thing. It's 2 double doubles, 2 fries, 2 drinks. That's it.
Yeah, and then you get you say that you want it in a box, and it comes in a nice box so that like you can be driving while eating.
They haven't quite mastered that part. They haven't quite mastered the part about how you want it yet. They're still trying to work that part out. In fact, the answer is you always want it the way you want it, which is in a box without a top on top of it. Okay? Just fuck off with the rest of the options. You want it in the box like they give you, without any other shit on top of it, and maybe you want extra salt because it depends on how salty they make their fries there. But you always get exactly the fucking same thing when you go to In-N-Out. And if you're an In-N-Out person who likes shakes, fine. They do shakes there too, and
yeah, and they do
I respect
7-Up.
that. They also do Arnold Palmer's, the most difficult drink to say in all of drinks. It's the most difficult drink to say, and you know what? It's not worth it for how difficult it is to say. It's not that much better than either iced tea or lemonade. And why don't they just call it lemon tea or iced
tea?
No, they have to have the lemon in it somewhere. Iced lemon tea.
Iced
lemon tea. Why do they got to call it Arnold Palmer? Arnold Palmer has too many L's and R's and M's in it. Everybody knows that. And the other thing that everybody knows is that the best justification for anything is that everybody knows that.
That everybody knows Arnold Palmer is hard to say?
Anytime you want to prove something right, you precede it with the statement, everybody knows that meow. Okay? Whatever it is you're going to say after that is true. That's how you prove things true. Everybody knows turkey soup's the best. Michelle Ellis, that's too many L's and too many S potentially sounds. Because your C's could be S's. You don't know. There's no inherent rule preventing your C's from being S's. And they should be a rule. I'll give this back to you in a second.
Thanks.
I'd forgotten about you until now, but now I've remembered about you, so now I'm going to go fast and get back to you. There's a difference between I'm indifferently ignoring you and purposely ignoring you. When I'm purposely ignoring you, it means fuck you. when I'm indifferently ignoring you, it means, oh my God, I'm sorry, I'm indifferently ignoring you.
Mm-hmm.
Those are vastly different things. It's like that 1980s band taught us very clearly what you need to do when a problem comes along. When a problem comes along, do some whippets. If it's still around, do some more whippets. Have you still got this problem? Whip it good. Do more whippets. Is it still there? You haven't done enough whippets yet. This band they called the Devo seemed to have a clarity about what is this thing I keep seeing written on everything that's not there.
That's funny.
I keep seeing something written on everything that's not there, but I'm not accustomed to looking with my eyes very much. I'm sure it's saying something. Whatever.
Copyright, maybe?
No, it's like this kind of like that runesy,
Fairy?
like runesy fairy kind of like words all across everything. Sometimes I see it.
That's like so spiritual. Like I can't believe you see that and I don't.
I don't see it right
that
now.
stuff.
I don't see it right now. It's not there now.
Hmm.
It was there earlier when I was saying about the whippet
Fairies are trying
stuff.
to get in contact with you.
Oh, they can't get in contact with me. Because I can't, I just utterly refuse to listen to them. That's the problem with fairies and me. I may be open, I may have access to fairy conversation, but no matter how much they fucking bash me in the face with, hey, I'm magicking you. I go, you're not magicking me. Get away from me.
It's true.
That's just how I am. I'm just stupid like that. That's my kind of stupid. Everybody has their own kind of stupid. Personally, I'm proud of my kind of stupid because when I'm not, I'm deeply, deeply ashamed of my own kind of stupid and hate myself with a loathing that will never end. So, it's one or the other. That's what makes me either insufferable or pitiful. Pitiful, right? Those are the only two states of Eric there are. I'm either an insufferable, unbearable ass that everybody hates, or a pitiful buffoon. But, given the choice, I guess I prefer the former. I like to go back and forth. I like to flip flop back and forth. Speaking of which, I better make those hotel reservations.
Yeah.
I just better make those hotel reservations right now. It's at the Aquarius. It's at Laughlin.
Oh, the Aquarius.
All right. So when my dad comes, I'm going to tell him, yes, Dad, I made those hotel reservations. Aquarius, Laughlin. There we go. All right. You had a special room availability for me starting tomorrow. At least if he comes in, I'll be doing it as he speaks. If he comes to check to see if I did it yet. Okay. Just take me to the fucking Aquarius website already. What's all this other shit? Yeah. Monday, not August. No. You're way in the wrong month, mister.
You're way ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. We're checking in, not
No,
August. No, you tards. Why would we be planning a vacation months in advance? Only TV people do that. We're planning to leave not today, not
27th.
tomorrow, but the next day. Okay? Today is Saturday. That's the 4th. That's not June. We're not in June. Yes, we are in June. Today is Saturday. That's the 26th. No, that's the 25th. We're not leaving today. We're not leaving tomorrow. We're staying Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. That's the check-in date, okay? Now here's the check-out date. 1, 2, 3 nights. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We'll check out on Thursday morning. That's 3 total nights. Now, that's what we want. Don't fuck it up, you. Now I already told you what hotel I wanted. I want to go to this. This is hard. We don't want 2 queen beds, do we? Maybe we do, actually. We could have sex in one of them and sleep in separate beds. We really prefer sleeping in separate beds, I think. Although we do prefer to have sex in the same bed. So far, I don't think you and I have ever even tried having sex in separate beds.
No.
But...
Oh my god. Is that insinuating that I'm having sex with another person's? Then fuck no.
No, Rachel.
Oh.
It's just
okay.
a joke about how long my penis would have to be.
Oh, God.
If we had sex in separate beds, I'd have to have a schlong several feet long, at least. Well, that doesn't make any sense. I don't know if I've done this right or not. What do I do now? Where do I push? How do I do it? Oh, push this, I guess? I selected it already. Fucktards. I selected it already. It says choose one. Oh, okay. Now I have to put in my stuff. Things are hard sometimes. They're easy other times. Right now things are a little bit hard. Where other times they might be easier than this. This probably wasn't as hard as I'm experiencing it as being. I'm guessing. Under normal circumstances, I would just go, ah, and that's really about all I can say about it. I have to enter all that stuff. This website is getting top burst brushes. Let's say wow. Asking me all this information. Just shut up already. Want to know where I'm from and stuff? I don't know. I don't know, call whatever phone number you want. I'll answer it if I feel like it. You just call every number, and eventually it'll probably be me. Enrolling. I don't trust your little thing. I don't know. Arrival information. Well, we're arriving on Monday. special requests. Why? Like a lamp that's not on fire.
See, but like you're paying with hotel. Aren't you paying with like the hotel stuff?
I'm just paying with my regular card.
Oh. That's what I was thinking, because like your dad was saying that there's special.
Yeah. It's
I
like
think it said,
he
like,
wanted to use
hotel.
some. Like the thing is, he wanted to use some of his shit, right? But then the problem with that is if he does that, then you got to show up with like his credit card, right?
Yes.
So I just like never mind. I'll just book it myself.
Ah, okay.
But he just gave
Okay.
us. He wanted to get us a vacation.
I
He just
got
gives
it.
us the cash, tells us to book it in our own thing. You know. So there, it's done. Phew. Oh my God. The amount of work that we have to do, Rachel, is just. Can you believe? I had to book those hotel rooms like before my dad got home. I mean, don't talk to me about what it means to suffer. Rachel and I like to play, as far as gambling goes. We both like to play something specific. Or I
I
might be
do.
speaking too much for Rachel.
What? Keno?
But video Keno.
Yes, I like to play Keno.
I like video Keno. I like the multi-card video Keno.
I have to. He's gonna have to tell me the rule, like what I have to do to set up my my computer. Once we get there,
Well, here-
once we get there, like I'm good with Keno.
I have to look at the odds again, but it's either you always pick 6 spots or you always pick 5. I don't remember if it's 5, 6, or 7. But there's one number of those that the odds are better than everybody else's odds. Okay, and if you hit, and it's like not that hard, impossible to hit all 5, let's say, or all 6. If you've got like 20 card multi-keno, you got to find exactly the right machine. But if you do, and it's like a nickel machine, because then if you're playing 20 cards, it's like $1 a thing, right? So that'll you'll tear through your $100 relatively quickly if you don't if you don't hit one of those.
You can't.
All of those.
Yeah,
all 5 of them.
that's what I learned. So, like, I hit pretty big on a Keno machine, like, early on. In, like, last time we went to Laughlin, like, I hit like, 102. I got $102. And I was like, there's no way that could be right. I'm going to continue playing Keno.
Well, the thing is, Rachel and I have a plan. You gotta have like a 2-hour cool down. After every time you hit one, you gotta have a 2-hour cool down before you go try to hit again. Don't try to chase a...
Like energy clearing.
Yeah, as soon as you hit a big one, you're not on a roll. That's a reset time. That's for you to go away, let the fools paying for resets again, you know? Well, let me tell you something, Bobette. It had nothing to do with you telling me to stream. The only thing that happens when you tell me to stream is me not streaming and me feel bad. You telling me to give streamings is just a way of saying you feel bad now because I'm not because you're not streaming Eric instead of just me feel bad because you're not streaming Eric. That's all you're doing, Boba Fett.
Show Media asks, will you guys go bowling and do a live stream for us? You would laugh so much. Like, I didn't know how to bowl, like, the correct way. Like, as in, like, this way. Like, I was, like, throwing it, like, such a wrong way. For the longest time. I'm not a good bowler. I'm not a good gambler either. I don't know the rules. So.
I love drugs so much. I am really embracing my Russian doll lately. Russian doll has been a great show because that lady in that show is an ESTP, but she's way more ENTP than any actual ESTP could ever actually be, and it makes me want to be me. Makes me want to be more ESTP than an ENTP could ever actually be, and I really admire that lady. I admire that lady, Natasha, whatever her name is, who made that show and made the second season of it, which was ill-advised, but nevertheless, fuck you for ill-advised. It came out fantastic.
Yeah, it did.
I could have told you a million times over it's ill-advised to try and attempt a second season of it. It doesn't matter. She's like, fuck you. It came out fantastic. That Natasha lady, she is my hero. Whereas Chris from the Whippet Store is my Christ, and I think we should build a whole religion around him. Natasha is my hero, and I want to be just like her. She's a real fucking doer, you know?
She definitely is, but can we, like, eliminate the dying every day part? Or, like, dying part?
That's just part of her show. That's not who she is.
No.
That's just part of her show. You know, it's like, she's like Andrew Dice Clay without all this bullshit. And I'm like Andrew Dice Clay without all the S and without all the bullshit.
He's talking about Russian Doll, Legends Fall. The main character, oh my god, I don't remember her name.
She's my hero. I don't remember her name. Her name's
Nadia.
Natasha. Or Nadia.
Yeah.
Nadia Natasha. Her real name's Natasha, I think. But
yes, her real name's Natasha.
the character's name is Nadia.
Nadia, yes. She plays a Russian-Hungarian.
Like right now, I keep seeing myself as scenes from her in the show. Just like, except instead of her, it's me being like, and it's just like
Can I be her friend? The one who's like, happy birthday, baby. Who throws her to the party?
No, you're not her, for sure.
Who am I? I'm not Alan.
There's somebody much more important than that lady. That lady, and she, it's like, she's another extrovert, you know?
Yes.
Who's that lady's name? That Chinese lady? What's her name?
I can't remember.
She's so great, whoever he is. She's so cast so perfectly. She's so fucking perfect.
She does it so well.
But she's so great. Anyway, no, you're not her to me. You're like, she doesn't have you.
No,
that's the point. She doesn't have you.
Yeah,
I have you. That's the difference. It's like, I spent my whole life looking for you because I didn't even understand what it was I was missing.
Same.
And you're still worried about.
Oh.
Yes, both are on Netflix.
It's so animagic. It's like I literally see the anim. It's like it's crazy the way like. Whatever the point is, whatever you need to hear, want to hear, whatever you worry about, whatever you think about, that you need to feel like you have any whatever I could possibly offer to you, I offer to you.
Yeah.
Everything you think you might need to hear is already here. It literally looks like everything's turning into ashes, like in an anime, like everything's smushing into like ghouls.
Maybe you're mixing universes.
You know what Devo said, darling? When the problem comes along, you must whip it. If your problem comes along, you must whip it. Bom, 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 bom. Whip it good.
Go forward. Move ahead. It's not too late.
You've got to whip it.
Whip it good. Do-do-do. Bow, bow.
No, 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 no. Bow, bow. Whenever things are serious to change, you should whip it. When things get too anime, you should whip it.
Hey, Maddie Sanchez.
The other thing that Devo told us is that Devo told us that when things get too difficult, it's likely because you're counting too much. That's why you shouldn't count so much. Counting is bad. Bum, 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 bum. Everybody knows that counting is bad. And that's why I don't like counting things. That's why I'm gonna do these two whippets before I hand this thing back to Rachel before she has her turn to. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's called pop-up bar, right? Pop-up magic bar, magic pop-up bar, something like that.
It's like I'm at my absolute worst, or at least leastful, when I'm a performer. It's like I'm at my leastful because I'm a performer. Because the people who are the least useful are performers because they are only informative to those who are watching them. Whereas I'm at my most useful when I'm at a divisive communicator. Because, wow. Well, even even though being a divisive communicator, means I'm going to create enemies, it also means that I will have the capacity to convey to those who understand me a truth that will envision those who are my enemies to better understand why I'm right. And eventually, the supremacy of correctness which has a resonance with reality that none can deny, will afford it a utility that even the stupidest found preferable to those that are less useful. Amen. Thus speaketh the truth and the wisdom and the truth of the divine. This is the case that the most divine of those sweet spoken, or those least connected with any individual, and the connectivity of those truths spoken to an individual necessarily diminishes from the divinity of that truth. So saith me, and so saith such has always been and will always be for the ever truth for the fount of all mankind from now until the end of time. Ah, fucking man! So take that, motherfuckers! You know what I'm saying? So take that, motherfuckers! So take that! So I call the fount of wisdom, motherfuckers. I'm going to Laughlin on Monday. We're going to lose hundreds of dollars on my foolhardy notion that we can somehow win money at the casino. That's fine. Point is, what I just said is the fount of motherfucking wisdom. It doesn't matter that it's from me at all, right? In fact, nobody's gonna remember who's it from. It doesn't fucking matter. Credit to Club ENTP. He's the one who said that. Just whatever you do, don't believe he's an ENTP. Because that's not cool. Alright. No matter what you believe, don't ever believe that guy is 1 billionth and will ever be 1 billionth as cool as me. No fucking way. That's the whole point of this. No matter what, Club ENTP, no matter what, that's the whole point of this, right? The whole point of everything in the universe is that Club ENTP will never be 1 billionth as cool as me. So fuck off! If he were, Rachel would be going out with him. So take that, motherfucker. Rachel, are you going out with him?
No.
Rachel, did you ever even consider going out with him?
No.
Were you ever really like, should I go out with Eric or Clubby ENTP?
Oh, that's such an easy choice for me.
No, you never even thought about it. I'm such the guy you chose. Not him. So fuck off, you. This is just a momentary thing. I'm not that obsessed with that guy at all. I just thought that this would be fun for the moment. He's just a momentary fancy, that's all. And you know who's not a big part of my imagination? Karma's pimp. Every time that guy comes up saying like, oh, here comes up Clubby and Speak again. That's not a figment of my imagination. Karma's pimp. I bet you're still there somewhere, huh? Show yourself, Karma's pimp.
Spanked him.
But he and I are buds now, so it's fine. He and I hugged it out. Karma's pimp and I hugged it out. I don't know if you were there or not.
Yes, I was there.
Okay, yeah. Karma's pimp and I hugged it out, so it's fine now. We're bros now. We used to not be bros. No, you can't call them that anymore, Shows Media. You can't call them that anymore. Because we're bros now. We hugged it out. He's going with me and Rachel Laughlin. Karma's Pimp, you're invited. Meanwhile, Show Media, King Wolf Gaming, you're not invited. Just me, Karma's Pimp, and Rachel are going to Laughlin together. No, nobody ever accused you of simping for anybody, Karma's Pimp. Show Media, you're excluded. Just me, Karma's Pimp, and Rachel. It's just us three. It's an FI thing. It's not your fault. It's not that you don't deserve it. It's an FI thing. FI things don't need any justifications. It's just what I feel like. Yeah, that's it. They're Tiffany mode.
Yep.
You know, it doesn't matter why.
This is Tiffany mode.
Tiffany mode is
Wolf.
Tiffany mode.
King
That's
Wolf.
it.
Yeah. King Wolf Gaming, this is Tiffany mode, not
Not any kind of rationality mode, okay? Tiffany mode says Karma's Pimp gets to go to Laughlin with me and Rachel, and that's it. Just us three. You don't get to sleep in the same bed as us, though. You have to sleep on the floor, Karma's Pimp. No, you can't bring one. It's not +1, Karma's Pimp. It's just you. Just you, me, and Karma's... me, and Karma's Pimp. We're leaving Monday. We're going to be in Laughlin Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We're leaving Thursday morning. We're checking out Thursday morning and driving home. So, if you are near Laughlin, Nevada, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we'll be there. This upcoming Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We just made reservations. Look us up.
Yeah, we would totally love to.
Yeah, we're making a road trip. And the ridiculous thing is, these days, the most expensive part of our road trip is the gas.
Yeah, man.
Like, when did gas get to be $7 a gallon?
7?
I shit you not, it's like $6.99.
I can't believe that.
I know, it's ridiculous. I mean, 689 is standard, right? 689, 679, you see it everywhere. So I haven't actually seen $7 yet, but it's
My
coming.
mind is in disbelief. King Wolf Gaming says gas prices are about to cause me to look for another job. Like a second job, or a job where you get higher pay.
Well, this is the thing people don't understand. Fucking, as soon as you increase energy costs, that hits everybody in their absolute bottom line. Unlike other things.
Sean Ryan Barron says, "Oh my god, I love my dilapidated Rust Belt steel town. But do you love counting?"
You better not like counting. You better not like counting. We've decided people who like counting, excepting small children, are the enemies. Also, people who can use paper towels correctly, enemies. I can't use them correctly.
I was just gonna ask, like, I don't know if I'm using them correctly.
Don't worry, baby. We used to be able to use them right, but not anymore. Now we failed even at that.
Sean Ryan Barron says, "But music must be counted."
Okay. Just count it without numbers then. You go like Lawrence Welk style. And like that. Okay? That's all the counting
Wow,
you get.
$3
from
or
now on.
$4 a gallon by where Ryan Barron lives. I mean, that's like,
That's a lot cheaper than here.
yeah, a lot cheaper.
Now, here's a crazy thing. They did implement all those gas taxes, yes. And they successfully solved Southern California's terrible smog problem that I experienced when I was a kid. But here's the tricky part. Those two things have nothing to do with each other. Isn't that crazy? They solved the problem of air pollution with catalytic converters and the move away from leaded gasoline. But they justify all these taxes on gas as though they're helping with the air pollution. They don't help air pollution. Like I said, energy costs are only direct impacts against people's bottom line. People don't drive more or less when gas goes up. They have to drive whatever they have to drive. And this is the job that Rachel and I have, right? We have to get through to... Have you ever read Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Court? There's a scene where the guy's trying to explain to the people that yes, they're getting more money, but it's worth less, right? And they simply cannot understand. But we're getting more of it. That's the conundrum that we're in constantly, right? As super mappy types. We're trying to explain why your stupidity is stupid to everybody all the time. Well, Rach doesn't even bother trying. Because she's an INFJ. She sees it too clearly to bother.
I do.
It's pointless.
See, the thing is, like, I do, like, think about other people. Like, so, like, Karma's Pimp, I've thought about, like, what your type is. And, like, I thought about Lou in my spare time. Lou DeFay.
She realized long before me that you guys probably like counting. But I said, Rachel, hey, let's not jump to any conclusions.
I don't like to jump to conclusions.
Maybe they don't like counting. I think about you.
I think about you, show media.
Show media, I want you to know something.
Honestly.
I love you with my emotional heart. All of it. I love all of you with my emotional heart. Granted, that doesn't mean much, but I do love you.
Actually, I did think about you, show media, because you paid me a compliment recently, and I was like, oh wow, show media like sees me. So like, that's pretty big for someone who doesn't say much and expects something to be said about them. Like
little things people say can have massive impacts.
Yep.
Whether I recognize it immediately or not. Something show media says may have a huge impact. You know?
Aw.
The thing
I really wish I could recall.
Here's what I'm talking about. When Rachel said one day in the car, because she was off her meds, she says, this crazy ass thing. Eric, you're lucky not to have conflictors around you in your life. That ultimately led to me yelling at the neighbors this morning.
Boba Fett, please. She does have nice boobies. But if you keep on, like, you know, like putting visuals in my head, I'm going to say something.
You gotta be like this. Hey, Wednesdays. Mediocre tits. And then she's gonna be like, what are you talking about? These? That's how you get her.
It's okay, Boba Fett. I know
you gotta play the
weren't
evil
trying
game.
to. Like, I know
Boba Fett,
it
you're
wasn't-
fine. You're fine.
It was just, you know, like, if you...
You've already gotten enough shit from me today about your mistake earlier.
Oh, wow.
You've gotten all the shit from me today, you did. And I'm gonna protect you from Rachel's shit, too. Now, you did deserve all that shit you got from me.
That's great that they are. I'm sure that they are exceptional.
And Wednesday's, Rachel, you know, you're sticking your woman nose in the man business right now.
I know.
Okay?
Okay.
Just let a little locker room talk go on between men, that's fine.
Well, then there should be locker room between girls, too.
I know, but instead of locker room, you guys talk about relationships. It's just, you know, you can locker room, but instead you talk about feelings.
Yeah, I guess so.
Right?
Yeah.
Mostly you talk
Well,
about
because
feelings instead
well,
of...
because like most of them are SFGs. So what else are you going to talk about?
Well, the point is, when you're expressing to me something about us, it's usually about our feelings or our longevity as a partnership, things like that, right? But Boba Fett's talking about titties.
I know. I don't need to shut him down. I don't need to squat him like a fly. I just
the
meant
point
to
is,
say,
Rachel,
like,
titties is titties, okay?
But if it goes more than titties, then I'm gonna like be like, okay, I'm uncomfortable.
Rachel, titties have a unique place in the world, okay? They're titties. And
Sure.
the logics of everything else don't apply to titties.
Yeah.
And that's just all there is to it.
Yeah.
Now, if I were talking about Wednesday's titties, I would not at all see any problem with you complaining. Because I've got God's gift of titties right in front of me.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't need to look at any other titties. But
single man.
We
I'm
cannot
sorry.
begrudge
I'm
Boba
sorry,
Fett's
Boba
enjoyment
Fett.
of Lindsay's titties.
I'm sorry, and do enjoy them. I'm sure she would enjoy you enjoying them. Like, I don't need to be.
They are titties, Rachel. That's the thing to remember about them. And as such, they have their own logic.
Yeah, they do have their own logic, so you have to be careful.
Like, there's no good reason why I like to squeeze your titties so much. I can't think of any good reason. But I do. Because titties have their own logic. Well, I tell you your titties need squeezing. That's actually a lie. Okay, just to inform you.
I like to
inform you that I'm checking them for something.
But like, can you at the same time?
Well, I could, but I'm not.
Well, if you feel something.
Well, sure. If I felt something weird, I'd say something,
cool.
of course. But the point is, when I tell you, I'm checking your breasts to make sure they're properly aligned. I'm just lying to you. They're already properly aligned. You're not actually experiencing any alignment difficulties. But fortunately, Rachel's extremely gullible about that.
I am very gullible.
So time and again, I say, no, I need to check these for something. They go, oh, well, you must need to check them for something. But somehow I'm thinking maybe deep down, I'm not really checking for something. That really I want to have sexual intercourse. I think you might deep down know that. It's this thing I got from Dead Men Don't Wear Plaid. And I had forgotten where I'd even gotten it from until Rachel and I watched it together. In Dead Men Don't Wear Plaid, there's this lady who faints, right? And Tina Martin starts grabbing her boobs. And she wakes up and she's like, what are you doing? And I said, I'm just realigning these. They got knocked out of whack when you fell down. So I'd forgotten that where it was where I even got that from. And so I saw it again. I need to realign these. They seem to have gotten out of whack. There. Actually, they're going to need a lot more aligning. Oh, I made a pot of coffee.
Oh, you did.
Forgot about that almost.
Nice sneaking.
I guess I'm not really tripping so much anymore now. When did we eat those anyway? It's quite a while ago.
Yeah, it was this morning, so like.
Hmm.
10 something?
I mean, what a great drug dealer, right? What a great drug dealer. I text him, I'm like, hey, I'm hoping to go up a quarter. And he's like, well, how far are you from SGV? I'm like, 10 minutes. He's like, I'll be there in 15. It's like, hey, he was on time, too. This time he was on time because there was no traffic. That guy doesn't think about traffic, is the thing. He thinks it always takes him 15 minutes to get from LA Kush to SGV. It only takes him 15 minutes on a Saturday morning. The rest of the time it takes him like 45 minutes. But he always thinks it takes him 15 minutes. But he's cool. I like that guy. You know?
Yeah.
He's a good drug dealer.
Let me know if he's my beneficiary.
ISFP?
Yeah, I benefit from him.
You sure do.
Yeah, I do.
I do too.
Don't we?
Oh. Well, now I'm feeling.
There's some whistling.
I like that suggestion, King Wolf Gamer. There's a spider on your ass. Let me smack it around 30 or 45 times. Yes, we did get a bag of shrooms. And it was fantastic. You know, I think this is... like the best shroom trip ever, really. In terms of
I threw up,
You
but
threw
I
up.
felt better after I threw up.
I didn't throw up. But I took that as a message that I'm on the right track. And while things are complicated for me in some ways, and not all the realities of things I feel good about all the time, that I'm not carrying wrongness, very much wrongness with me. When I'm carrying wrongness with me, then I think mushrooms make me puke. It transubstantiates the wrongness. Like, the wrongness that Rachel had to puke out was the wrongness of not owning her own feelings enough. Like, not complaining enough.
You're right.
The thing is, she doesn't have to complain that much for me to get the message. It's just a bit of a delayed reaction. And in the end, that one little statement that she made in the car ended up with us going to Laughlin tomorrow, on Monday. Weirdly. Yeah,
Well,
I know.
it wasn't accessible. Shrooms weren't really accessible to us for a while too. Honestly, King Wolf Gaming, like, host Eric was like kind of trying to get a hookup for a while.
It's until we met Jesus. Jesus is an ESFP named Chris who works at the Whippet store. And I want to start a whole religion around him. Because he's somebody I'm willing to say, that guy is Christ. Be like him. I will never be anywhere close to as Christ-like as that guy.
Neither will I.
Boy, we're really having a lot of serotonin today, aren't we? That's what makes me yawn, is the serotonin, I think. But the thing about Jesus is you can't generalize anything that he does, right? Because he's reflective of all the positive indications that don't generalize. It's always going to be, Jesus will always be expressing to you in your particular moment in ways that don't generalize. The most generalizable thing you could say about Jesus is, when you have a drug connect and someone's looking for a drug connect, just connect them to your guy. That's the most generalizable thing. Don't be a dick about it. Yes, it's kind of sketchy because you're like, does my guy really want me to introduce some new person to him? But they are a drug dealer, so they do want new clients. So just go ahead and put the two people together. That's about the most generalizable thing you can say about Jesus. Jesus makes drug deals happen without getting anything from it. If your name I'm your daughter's serotonin, so just always be sleepy. Mostly. Well, I mean, that's the risk you take by trying to tell your drug dealer, hey, can I introduce you to a new guy? What if he's already happy with the number of clients he has? Well, that's what makes it Jesus, you know? He's taking a little bit of a risk for no reward. Well, I gotta say this. I really feel as though today's mushrooms have been the most informative of all mushroom trips that we've had. I feel like I learned a lot today.
Me too.
I wasn't just laughing and having fun, although some of that was happening too. But I feel like the NI clarity sometimes goes along with mushrooms didn't get ignored by me as much as it usually does. I feel a large frame clarity about things that I lacked before taking these mushrooms. And of course, the whippets don't hurt.
Made coffee.
Oh, thanks for reminding me. You know what funny thing happened earlier? This is kind of gentle teasing I'm talking about Rachel. Rachel, after we deposited some money and stuff, Rachel's like, can we get whippets? And I'm like, I don't know, Rachel. That might be taken away from some of our gambling money. And she said, okay, well, I'm okay with taking that away from my gambling money. I'm like, Rachel, you're missing the point here. Of course it's okay we get whippets. You don't even say, is it okay if we get whippets? You're entitled and empowered to say, I want whippets. Get whippets. Or whatever, you know? That's the beautiful thing about FI. It definitionally is unjustified. The question, why should it's always answered with the same answer. Because I want it. Because I want it. That's it. There's no other answer to that.
Do you have the black lighter?
Oh, I stole it from you.
Thank you.
Which type is the hardest to read their thoughts? Every time. Nobody can read anybody's thoughts. People can read words they write down on paper. The problem is, we keep conflating metaphor over real things. If you're saying, which type can I tell what they're thinking, even though they're trying to not make me tell what they're thinking? That's another question. It requires a lot more specifics, like why are they trying to convince me to not know what they're thinking, etc., you know? Because they're thinking, why won't I buy a box of jalapeno cheese poppers? My answer is, I just don't like spicy stuff that much. But I respect their curiosity about why I won't buy a box of jalapeno cheese poppers. Because I understand their business is predicated upon my purchasing it. Does that explain everything for everybody? Hopefully that explains everything for everybody. I'm glad I'm not seeing those words anymore that I was seeing for a while.
Me too.
Everything looks normal now. I was afraid that some Japanese lolly was going to come thrusting forth from the rune script behind the green screen here and insist she was 400 years old and we need to call her Sama. Anyway.
We think about that Ludife a lot, actually. So, Ludife says, this is all just guesses, but I wonder if it's Fi or Fe or... Wait, what do you mean? Fi over both Ti and... Fe and Ti over Fi. Wait. Yeah.
Well, this is what I want to tell you. This is pretty important. I want to tell you that tomorrow I have to work with Chloe. So we won't do mushrooms tomorrow.
No.
And then Monday, we got to drive down to Laughlin. Now, we want to leave here such that when we arrive in Laughlin, it's not too early to check into our room.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
So we have to time that right. I'm not sure how long it takes to get there from here. But I know that typically rooms aren't available till like 4 in the afternoon.
Well, we can call ahead. I mean,
We could do that, but I'm just.
I can do that. That's an easy thing for me to do. I can just call and be like, "Hey, we have a reservation for today."
But here's the thing, Rachel. Let's be honest. How often do you wake up before noon?
Not anymore. Not anymore.
So if we just leave around a regular time of waking up, we should be fine.
Yeah, we should be.
Yeah.
It's okay, Ludafe.
So what I'm thinking, the thing is, we didn't eat a lot of mushrooms today. I ate one cap and stem, and she had a smaller cap and stem.
Yeah.
But how much you trip or what kind of trip it is, it has a lot to do with a lot of things. Like, it's been a long time since either of us took mushrooms now. It's been weeks, so our heads are fresh, you know? Oh yeah, it's still daylight. We took them in the morning.
Yeah, it is still daylight here, and it's pretty sunny still at 6:15 in the evening.
This is like, mushrooms is the only drug I can think of that has really the opposite of a hangover.
Mm-hmm.
You know? I never feel worse or like, after doing mushrooms. Although, the time we split a quarter, I felt very subdued afterwards for a couple of days. But, no, you're right, Winston's mom, regardless of whether you're reading it or not. That mushrooms, I'm only going to say this about mushrooms. It may be true for other people, for other psychedelics, but for me it's true for mushrooms that they make me a better person across the board. They make me a better intuitive, more wise and correct. They make me a better feeler. I care more about people. They make me more open to recognizing the complexity of things, while also seeing the NIFE futility of everything too. You know, that's the INFJ's weight they have to carry around. You know. Now, I'm not denying, though, I want to stress this. I'm not saying that other people can't have equivalent relationships with a substance other than mushrooms. For me, it's mushrooms. For me, it's mushrooms. But it sounds like for a lot of people, it's DMT. But I didn't have that experience with DMT. I never had that experience with it. Like, I haven't actually watched it or listened to it, but I have a feeling that that first hour of that earlier stream was me at my absolute best as an intuitive in terms of speaking truth. But I'll have to listen to it to find out. Because On previous occasions when I did mushrooms, I thought, wow, that must have been great. And I listened to it and go, Eric, you're just repeating yourself over and over and over again. It's just, no, I can't even watch this. But, oh yeah, one scores drugs for sure. One still scores drugs. It will always be the case that one scores drugs. Because to acquire them is inherently score.
Score is what we did too in the 90s.
Today's been a weird day because a lot's happened. But it's been a super weird day for understanding things. Both Rachel and I are extremely blessed, and yet, deep down, neither of us thinks what we like matters. So it's like, we're lying there next to this loud ass fucking neighbors for months and months and months and months. And because we're not positioned to say something about it, we're operating under the fundamental premise that the fact that we don't like it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird, right?
One time I was, it was weird that, like, I hadn't thought it before I should have. Like, that, the disturbance of the peace is very unlikable. Like, I woke up in the morning to, like, either hammering or sawing, and I was like, oh my god, like, how could you wake me like this? This is so unfair.
But what trumps that every time is, for both of us, who are we to complain?
Right.
We're here in this master bedroom, paying no rent. So the least we could do is put up with whatever little inconveniences there are.
Yeah.
Things we don't like. But yeah, that's the rich tapestry of things. The rich golden tapestry of baklava that is this crazy mixed up thing we call life. How many new ribbons do you have left?
I got a bunch.
Can I have a couple of them?
Yes.
I've gone a little batshit crazy with these things right now. I don't know why. Thank you.
You're welcome. I find that knowing what mushrooms you can eat is like something they look for in survival. So both alone and naked and afraid, like it's something that is seen as valuable. Knowing what mushrooms to pick and whatnot. Yes, they talk about that in, like, Alone, especially, I've noticed. Chanterelles.
You can tell the mushrooms that are farmed versus the mushrooms they gathered. The mushrooms they farmed aren't quite as gross tasting as the mushrooms they gather. These
Taste more gross.
are farmed.
Oh.
These are farmed mushrooms.
Yes.
I can't prove it to you. Because it's an SI quality, and I can tell by the way they taste less gross, that you probably aren't conscious of, or aren't conscious enough of. But I can tell these are farmed, and those ones we got in the bag were the ones we got in the bag one time were not farmed. The ones we got in the fucking Ziploc bag that one time were not farmed.
Ah.
Those were gathered. Now, you could conclude additionally, because they were not in a bag like this, they were in a Ziploc bag, that's why they were gathered. But I don't draw that conclusion. It's like what you do after the mushrooms you have with it in terms of the bag is irrelevant to how you got them. So I'm not going to be stupid like that and draw that conclusion. But anyway, the point is, it is the case that those mushrooms that were in the Ziploc bag were gathered, whereas these mushrooms were farmed. Bagging irrelevant, okay? Ignore the bags, is my point. Don't pay any attention to what bags they came in. Okay. So. Oh. These are not done yet.
Oh, good.
That's convenient.
It's funny, Winston's mom, that you say that. So, Winston's mom goes, Rachel, yesterday I was reading about law of attraction. They's all say, one must say, I am. Then say, going to be happy. I am, F-I, it, in your I want. I did that for so long. Like, in 2018, I really got into spirituality. 2017 too, I guess. And I would say...
I'm sorry, I just want to be clear. All mushrooms are gross. So if you're thinking like, oh, this mushroom is gross because whatever, they're all disgusting.
That's good to know.
I'm just saying there's a particular kind of disgustingness that makes me go, these are gathered rather than farmed. Continue, I'm sorry.
So I've definitely I practice the I am statements, and there are benefits to it. That's funny, Lou. Am I reading how to rehydrate dried mushrooms to collect spores to grow? Yes, I am.
Okay, can I have a couple more
Yes.
nitrogens? I promise we'll get more nitrogens if we need to.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
And it's like no big deal.
No, if you want more nitrogens, then I'm using your nitrogens, we'll get more nitrogens.
But also, it's really not a big deal if you ask for me because, like, you do give me your, like, almost half a lot of times, so.
That's true. I did give you a lot of my
Yeah,
edges
you
a lot of
do.
times.
Mm-hmm.
So, cool. Because usually I'm not really that interested, but right now I'm feeling it.
Yeah. And you want what you want, right? We were talking about that before.
You want what you want.
Yeah.
And you love what you love. Do I treat everybody the same as Rachel? Not even remotely close. Do I apply totally different rules to Rachel than I do to everybody else? Absolutely. Because I love Rachel, and I don't give a fuck about everybody else. Right? Isn't that weird? Rachel's special. Rachel can get away with murder. Everybody else can't get away with shit.
I'm also a good person who, like, doesn't want to get away with murder.
That's why I love you so much.
Thanks.
I mean, look, there's a lot of identity reasons that we can point to why I love Rachel so much, right? But the point is, because of all those things, she's empowered to mia. But also, if she executed power mia too many times, then she wouldn't be herself, you know? It's just weird.
Also, I'm gonna hear it. I'm not gonna not. You don't let things, like, you know, if I overspend, like, you, like, tell me, you know? I needed that.
Well, that's just because that's different. That's not about us being on the same page about how to deal with another person, right? That's about our collective capacity to do. You do whatever you want, just don't do things we can't do, right? Now, it's this separate question of don't do fucked up shit, but that's a separate question, right? That's how you deal with other people, right? So it's like, don't get those two things confused. The fact that you did stuff we couldn't do is not related at all to don't do fucked up shit.
Yeah, I don't do that fucked up shit.
Right? So the latter a moral question, the formal just TE question. You just got shit at TE. The Rachel and I both might make mistakes. About what we can or can't do. But we won't make mistakes about what we should or shouldn't do. And if absolutely necessary, hopefully, we won't make mistakes about what we can and won't do. Can and can't do. Okay? We will make mistakes about what we will or won't do. We might make mistakes about what we can or can't do. But we'll never make mistakes about what we should or shouldn't do. Take that to the bank.
One time I did ask the live stream, should I make this purchase?
Asking questions, not making a mistake.
Okay.
When we make statements, okay, we might be wrong, probably will, about what we will or won't do. We shouldn't be wrong, but sometimes are, about what we can and can't do.
It's true.
But we won't be wrong about what we should and shouldn't do. The end. Look how Christmassy it looks around us.
It does look Christmassy.
This is the truth of Christmas around us right now.
Yeah, we have the red chairs and the green background.
Like earlier today, we told that guy, we're not coming back from our whippets.
Oh,
Sure as shit, we were back for more whippets. Because why? We were wrong about what we will or won't do.
Mm-hmm.
I have a feeling we're going back for more whippets because,
Okay, but as long as I can have a round.
of course, darling, I don't mean to steal all your whippets. And like I said, if what's left here is insufficient for you, we will go get you another box.
Okay.
I promise.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
You will not be unsatisfied with the
That
amount of
seems
whippets
fine.
you get, whether it's that amount or a whole nother box.
Okay.
Okay? Thank you for sharing with me.
Of course, you're so generous with me.
I'm feeling enthusiastic about them.
I'm glad you are.
What was I talking about? Something else. I don't know. Who cares? Karma spent. I'm just glad we got over our disagreement we were having previously. Whatever it pretend was.
Well,
Selfish FEFEs at work right there for sure, both that. I maybe not feeling you right now. Okay? But I promise to make a huge show of not feeling you. Feeling me, not feeling you later. And bring a whole fucking buffet. You'll be impressed. You'll love it. You start thinking, you know what? Maybe over the buffet and the dances and everything, maybe I'd rather than the real thing anyways. Right? That's what I'm talking about. Sometimes the buffet and the dances and everything turns out it's better than what you wanted in the first place. It's like what Rachel wanted in the first place was to be left in peace to her own box of whippets. What she gets, the second place, is me interfering with her second half of her box of whippets, but now she gets a whole nother box of whippets, plus me making a big show dance about me being sorry about how she has to give up some of her whippets. It's like better than what she had in the first place.
so like, more is more in that situation. More is actually what it's worth.
It's like now, she can barely get out of the way to give me more of some of the whippets she has left. Without feeling kind of like ashamed of herself for having some whippets left.
Hey, Mac Daddy.
Pooping?
I pooped before and it was great.
So when you want to say you want to do some whippets, then give me some whippets, then go get some more whippets?
Yeah, sure.
Alright, sounds like a plan.
So, I'm
It almost makes it sound like you had this whole thing in mind before you started this live stream to begin with.
That's the way to be, Mac Daddy. Never pooping your whole life.